Hello, break eggs, and welcome to your deck review. For those of you joining us for the first time on YouTube, this is a series where I, Maldon Unknown, card reviewer, connoisseur, mostly hater, will take a look at your commander deck's PP and tell you how to fix it. Your PP is your premise and your practicum. Your premise is the idea behind your deck. It's what you hope it does. It's the Christmas land dream you had when you came up with it. Your practicum is the stuff you put in the 99 and what actually happens when you play the deck. We're going to spend a little bit of time talking about this person's idea, whether or not it can be achieved at the power level they want to achieve it at, and then we're going to look at what they put in the deck. Does it actually function? And this idea is Guildmages in space, to make some Star Trek jokes. The primer is a very, very good Star Trek skit. I'm not going to read the whole thing aloud because there is a lot to talk about in the deck, but it ends with hyper-specific Guildmage that's useless in every other context. My time. I think that's a wonderful vibe. I think that's a very cool idea. I do worry that it's a very garbage idea. And you've accurately identified this because the first draft of the deck was to be bracket 1, but we found out, oh, damn, nobody wants to play bracket 1 commander. So we're trying to push it to bracket 2. And we've not built this deck in paper yet. It's currently entirely theory crafted, so we want to once over, see if it's going to function. I don't think it will. I think a problem we're going to have is the guild mages suck. The guild mages suck, and notably, they're not known for their cooperation with other guilds. So these cards were not designed with the intent of, oh, they're going to have some type of quirky way to work together. I think a counterexample to this is the Fantastic Four cards coming out in Marvel Superheroes, where they have that four-person infinite if you assemble all members of the team. These guys aren't meant to be a team. They're meant to have some type of like totally middling activated ability that relates to their guild, and we might be able to stretch it a little. Now I do want to be clear, you can make an infinite guideline station deck work in bracket 2 so long as you have multicolored permanents. We have army in a can, we have a big commander, and we have card draw in the command zone. There will be a way to make this deck function at bracket 2. What I don't think is going to function is celebrating the guild mages or having them work in weird ways. I am not a jank lord myself. I am normally a guy who's more about like, how do we make the clear goal of your deck happen consistently in a way that pleases you. So I am stepping a little bit out of my comfort zone. I'll be transparent about that. But when I look at how do I use something in a weird way, normally to use something in a weird way, it either needs to be a triggered ability, it needs to intersect with a triggered ability, or it needs to be open-ended. I say that because you need to have the potential to make a cascading effect. You need to be able to assemble a Rube Goldberg machine where all you have to do is tip the first domino, blow up the balloon, flip the pancake, whatever version of the Pee Wee Herman movie you watched, and then a bunch of cool stuff will happen after that. But all of these guild mage abilities, you have to pay full price every time. None of them are triggered, and all of their effects are very, very discreet. So it's like you're Sisyphus with the boulder, and you can only ever take one step at a time. We can't do anything to build up momentum. We can't build any clever ramps. Even if I think about like, oh, well, could we, double the abilities with something like Go-Go? Most of these abilities just don't do anything, even if they come in pairs. And why would we need to double them? Because we can just pay to do it again. We can pay to do them all at instant speed. So there's no, like, because the abilities were built with so few restrictions in mind, there's nothing to subvert. That's normally the way you get a jank combo, is you have a card that was pretty clearly designed to do one specific thing, and you figure out how to make it, or designed to like not do a specific thing, and you figure out how to make it do something else, or figure out how to make it do the thing that it was designed, that it was supposed to have like a guardrail on. These guys have no guardrails because they have no capabilities. There's a few exceptions though that I'm gonna try to focus on, because what I mean by open-ended is like Vizkopa Guildmage's second ability. Whenever you gain life this turn, each opponent loses that much life. Here we finally have somewhere where it could get big, where if we could gain 30 life, bang, we would win the game. And we have another guild mage who can help with that, the Orzhov guild mage. We're there. Except not really, because we need 1,000,000 fucking mana to do it. Like, that's where my brain keeps coming to when I think about this deck, is anything we could do to make the guild mages seem great really just involves having 50 mana and spending it on guild mages. And so if you want to do that, we can. I don't think that's impossible. There's one other exception I want to talk about, and that is the V2 Ghazi Guild Mage, because they have another open-ended activate ability. They can populate. We can make a token that's a copy of a creature token we already control, which means if we have some type of crazy creature token, for 4 mana we can make more of them. That's another place where I could see something happening. Of course, Reese already does that, and he's gonna fucking steal our thunder, but V2 Ghazi actually does it cheaper and doesn't have to tap. There's another kind of open-ended one with Corrosive Guildmage, where we can sack a non-token creature to put a bunch of saprolings on the field, where X is a sacrificed creature's toughness. So I could imagine there's some sort of like, okay, I have Phyrexian Processor. That's the first thing I think of off the dome for incredibly large token. So if Phyrexian Processor, I pay 20 life into my Phyrexian Processor. I process my own ass. I have a 20/20 token. I populate it. I turn it into 21. I turn the populated copy into 21 ones. Now I have 40 power on board. I had 40 power on board already. The corrosive part didn't really matter, but it allows me to go wide rather than tall. And then I could, like, if I had these 20/20s, just Copa Guildmage, 6 mana, they gain life link. Whenever I gain life, each opponent loses that much life. That's how we can kind of like parlay, okay, these guild mages are doing something. The reason that doesn't seem incredibly satisfying to me is it all hinges on, like, did I get a 20/20 token? And it's like, yeah, hey, if I have Merit Lage, many things are possible, which that makes it fall flat again. But those are examples of what we could do, because a lot of the ones that are just like fully discrete, where the input is very tight and the output is very tight, I don't think we, I'm so sorry I did that hand motion. I don't think we can get very freaky. Like, I don't think there's target player who lost life this turn loses 1 life. That doesn't really do much except like get us over the hill on triggers that care about opponents losing a specific amount of life, like they have to lose 3 or more in 1 turn. Then at Guildmage, like drawing, discarding, gaining 2, these are all too, the system is too closed. There's no space for it to get freaky. Dusk Mantle, you could do like, this guy combos with Mind Crank, I think. Yeah, hey, two card combo with Mind Crank, baby. Let's get it. And that probably makes people really fucking mad in bracket 2 if you ever draw that by turn 3. So with a lot of the discrete ones, their only output is going to be like an infinite combo. Because Orzhov Guildmage, hey, if you have, Exquisite Blood, Sanguine Bond, this thing will kick off that infinite loop. But it's only the open-ended ones where we could do something kind of freaky, and for those, we still need like 1,000,000 mana. So I think ramp comes at a very, very high premium. I'm not convinced we can take these like worse cards that just happen to be multicolored, because our mana needs are so high, and like we gotta play against precons, dog. Have you seen some of these motherfucking precons recently? Like, if we go into what we do have, all right, we don't have green, so I'm gonna mulligan that hand. We have green, dope. We have 3 lands. We have Lurrus. We have a Guildmage who does nothing. We can play Reese. Oh, and we have Marin of Clan Nel Toth. So this is both a good hand and a bad hand. It's a good hand because you can play magic. It's a bad hand because we want this deck to celebrate the guild mages, and the shit that is about to matter is Elf Ball and Dirt Woman. Nobody's paying attention to House Guildmage. At least I don't think. We get a surveil. Yeah, I'll take a world tree. I'll take my land drops. I'm an adult. Drop the world tree. Drop. I can't fucking. Okay. Okay, I'm cool. I need 6 or more lands. Okay, at this point, I'm just mana fixing the playtest. So I'm like land dropping into these generically good multicolored permanents. And then I can go, you know, I could go Infinite Guideline Station. Only getting 2 of these robots doesn't make me happy. So I go bang bang, 2 more multicolored permanents. Fuck yeah, I'm on top of the world. Now, I can Guildmage. Would I? Absolutely not. I'm playing the Infinite Guideline Station because I need robots to not die because it's turn 6 and I've done nothing. But we have another Guildmage. We can sack something to make multiple other creatures, which like works with Marin, but so does everything. And so that's the other problem I think we're gonna run into with the like Phyrexian processor plan that I laid out, or it's really the mind crank problem, just a few steps removed, where the thing making the gimmick work is not the Guildmage. I think we can do a little bit better than Marin of Clan Nel Toth, because like everybody knows Marin is a great card. Not many people play with Phyrexian processor that often. And so there's levels to it where it's like, is it a 2-card infinite with the Guildmage? Nobody's really going to care. Is it a synergy with the Guildmage and a card that people know is absolute gas? Also not as interesting. Is it a synergy with a Guildmage and a card that is not heavily played? That's where you start to get a viral Instagram reel out of it. Now, if you just want to use the Guildmages for your own edification, the Marin synergies are great. Yeah, they work awesome. We can sacrifice stuff. Sacrificing stuff gets us stuff. So turn 6, laying down that guy, I'm laying down Luris. I want as many multicolored permanents as I can get. Infinite Guideline Station. I make 6 2/2s. No, I make 7 2/2s. Huzzah. Seven. Next turn. Now it's just like, hey, I board wipe you. Do you like my Guildmages in space? Pick up all your shit. And then we could station the Infinite Guideline Station. We could then draw 1 2 3 4 5 6 cards. That's something. Next turn we do this. We could get Agatha out. And then like Agatha almost has a synergy with the Corrosed Guildmage, because we make her bigger, hey, activated abilities get cheaper, but her activated ability getting cheaper is still like a losing economic proposition the whole time. It's inefficient to do it. And she's really just here to be like, okay, I play her, I give these guys overrun, I kill you. The part of the deck that works is I play a bunch of low cost multicolored permanents. I play a guy who turns that into a bunch of bodies and a bunch of card draw. You will play some degree of magic. I do not think this works, and I doubt that this can work on a consistent basis to celebrate the Guildmage, because their abilities are too disconnected and too discrete. I've gone over the only openings I did see. And so what you could do is you could be like, okay, all the Guildmages are here, but this is really about the V2 Ghazi, the Corrosda, and the Vizkopa plan. And then I would go up on tutor, right? Like, I think if you're like, hey guys, by the power of a 4-card combo, I'm going to have one big creature with lifelink. I don't think anybody is going to mind you attempting to tutor for that. And then I would just be shaving the things that are not Guildmages that were meant to be like, okay, random multicolor good stuff go, so that we can try to find the fun Guildmage thing. If that doesn't sound fun to you, I'm totally fucking lost, because that's really the only angle I see, is we can play weird cards that make us very, very big tokens, and then try to populate them shits, or turn them shits into saprolings. And then, like, if we turn them into saprolings, oh, that's only one creature, holy fuck. Come on. But then Selesnya Guildmage gets better, right? If we have 20 1/1 saprolings, we're only 8 mana away from 23 3 saprolings. So what tag could we look at? I want there to be like, I want a big token. I want a tag for a big token. We're just gonna look at create creature token. I have no idea what to search for, because the EDH rec is gonna give us the wrong answers. But maybe there will be a critical mass of like, okay, if there are 5 of these things. All right, so Isle of Oblivion can make us a 10/10 colorless Eldrazi token. These are making small tokens. I'm calling all tokens, please God. But if we can get a critical mass of like maybe 5 or 5+ big token makers, and then we can get some tutors, we can try to do this thing of like, I'm gonna generate one fat token, I'm gonna populate the hell out of him, I'm gonna turn him into saprolings, bing bang boom, all of a sudden you are now afraid of Guildmages. So Shark Typhoon can technically do it, but then we're back to like, okay, I need to make 8 million mana. I mean, dog, put Dark Depths in this deck. Straight up, put Dark Depths Thespian Stage in this deck today. Guy's not a fucking token. Ooh, okay. This I think is too deep in the sauce. But like, Feldon can make stuff in your graveyard creature tokens, which that Guildmage can then populate, or you could make creature tokens and then you could sacrifice them to like bring other stuff back to hand. But it's just all so mana intensive. It's also mana intensive to do a very, very normal thing. So I'm gonna stay on the token fatty plan. Where is, come on, I need somebody big and huge. I need somebody big and huge. Galta and Maverin's just big. Greatest power among other attacking creatures. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work the way we want it to. Oh, you could do Karn. But here's the problem though. If we do Karnstructs, like, that's definitely an angle, and then the deck very quickly becomes an artifact deck that cares about artifact decks and Karnstructs, and it's like, yeah, okay, you did populate one time, but like, I'm afraid of the Karnstruct. I'm afraid of the synthesizer. I'm not afraid of the Guildmage. Makes an XX based off of trample. I mean, there and back again's really bad. We can't even use the 14 treasures, no. Well, okay, hold on, because all the activated abilities cost $1 million. If we had and killed a bunch of Smaugs, maybe this could fund using the Guildmage abilities enough to be scary. Like, 14 treasures, that can buy +3/+3 from the Selesnya Guildmage. Oh man, we're so deep in it. So none of these are very compelling to me, but this is the only angle I see. The only place it really seems like we can play around is with this. I get to copy a token that is not necessarily designed around being copied. and then I get to parlay that into having a really wide board, try to parlay that into like life linking the big token and then using that to drain everybody. But that's going to require a lot of money. And so if you're trying to do that, I would probably be replacing these like multicolor, the things that are not Faber Elder, these multicolor cards with things that just got you more lands out, because we have to be hitting our land drops. We have to be pulling the lands out of the deck. I would be doing like Cultivate Kodama's Reach shit. I would be doing Sky Shroud Claim. Just anything to make sure that I was getting to like 6 or 7 mana to play with on every turn. And then I would be pulling in tutors. You don't have to pull in Game Changer tutors, but just like fucking threats undetected. Hell yeah, get me some Guildmages, and then not the Saga. But I would just go to OTAG tutor. You're in 5 colors. You know, look at these, look at the ones that are not going to be game changers, and then utilize those. If that feels like a bridge too far, I'm inclined to agree with you. The problem is this version of the deck is already a bridge too far in terms of Guildmages in space being the theme. The theme of this deck is not Guildmages in space. It is, damn, Lissa Sunslayer, good fucking card. But if we're okay with that, deck is pretty good. I mean, deck is about what it is, but you could probably shave the activated discount section because the guild mages already don't matter. So if anybody sees an angle I don't, please let me know in the comments, but I wish you the best of luck with this deck, and I do hope this helps.